Question number 2, there will be sentence and the answer, and in the end it will say submit. So you need to click on submit, it will go straight away to the professor. Okay. So in the midterm paper, always remember, try to see, read out all the midterm questions and mark out which is easier one, because sometimes for the midterm they give you a time limit. Time limit means they say that midterm should be completed in 2 hours or 60 minutes or 120 minutes. So your time starts, and see that 5 minutes before the time you need to submit it. If you don't submit, automatically it gets lightened, okay, and then you will find that you may lose marks. So you should be very careful. But don't worry, Madonna papers are very, very easy. Most of the students are getting A grades. If you're concentrated, I'll give you some tips which you need to use it, okay? So if you're using those tips, definitely you'll be able to get an A grade. I will tell you the tips in the end, okay? So is that clear with the midterm? So similarly, final examination also, sometimes it may not be MCQs, it may be a short answer for final examination, it depends on the professor, okay? And then this is the way you need to submit. So submissions, you need to be done in this particular icon, assessment and assignment icon, okay? Now next is, you have a so the next one is what we call it as, it is the next icon. Okay, so you have discussion board. Now what is discussion board? Discussion board, you'll find that discussion board, this is just like your class participation. What is class participation? Sometimes you'll find that professor gives marks for class participation. It's just like asking something to the class. Okay, like for example astronomy, they may ask you, okay, what do you understand by the term astronomy? Put it in the discussion board. Okay, so in that case, that discussion board things will come in the announcement, right? When you see the announcement, it will say, okay, you have a discussion board, okay, write down what you understand by the term astronomy, put it in the discussion board, okay. So like this, continuously they may be asking maybe around, the whole semester they may ask around 5 questions on discussion board, okay, and then they will, in the end, they may give you marks for discussion board, okay. So discussion board, you need to put or attach it in this particular icon, discussion board. It's just like your chatting, okay. So you write down, put it in the discussion board, you'll find other students also will put it. So write down the whatever question they ask, you write down the answer and write your name, okay, next to the answer. So you'll find other people also, putting it in the discussion board continuously. So at least for one question, you need to, put in the discussion board, sometimes 2 or 3 times. Okay, it's not just one time. So if you're putting it in the morning, again you open up the discussion board and check what others have written down, and then you can also comment on it. Okay, like this, at least 3-4 times you need to do it. Sometimes the professor will tell you, he'll say that minimum you need to put your views for 3 or 4 times, or minimum 2 times. So they will tell you also. But even if they don't say, please see that at least minimum 3 times you put it in the discussion board. Don't stop your discussion board, okay, by putting only 1 time. Your views should be at least 2 or 3 times minimum, okay. Maximum time you put it, always the professor will be observing your name, he will be very happy to see your name. And in the end, he may give you full marks, 20 out of 20, okay. So this is what we have. Then we are having the next icon, which is called as communication. Communication, you will find that this is the place where all the email IDs are there. If you want to communicate with your friends, you can go into this and communicate. You can communicate with your professors through this particular icon, okay. This is the place where you will find all the email IDs are there. So you can communicate within the blackboard itself, okay. So you can have a communication. Same way you are having external links. External links, for example, if you want to refer some, outside web engines, you can get into the external links. All these are very user friendly. Same way you have something called as view grades. View grades, if you go into the view grades, you will find that whatever you have submitted, after the professor marks the paper, he will put it in the, grade sheet, okay? There you'll be able to see your grades. So when you get into the view grades, you'll be able to see how much marks you have scored in case study. Out of 20, did you get 20 out of 20? And also he will give you his comments as well, okay? Why did you score good marks or why did you score bad marks, okay? So view grades will be there. Then we have library. Library, you will find that you can get into this library. There are online materials available. Sometimes if you need to refer online materials, the professor will say that I have activated the online library. You can get into the journals, magazines, whatever materials relating to your subject matter. So it goes with the online library. Same way you have one more thing which is called as help desk. So help, in case if you don't know certain icons, how to use it, you can get into the help, okay? And then you can, get an idea how to use the icons. Especially like, for example, when you're talking about discussion board, you don't know how to get into the discussion board, you can get into the help desk, okay? So help icon will help you a lot. Now, there are some important points which you need to observe when you talk about doing the online examination, okay? Very important point is plagiarism. Never copy. That is what is very important. So whenever you do anything, see that you write it in your own words. Okay? Never take any material from the textbook. Try to see that you write it in your own words. Even if you are taking any material from the text or anything, you need to put the reference. Okay? And all referencing styles should be the APA style of referencing. Okay? APA style, you can tell them to send an email. I have the APA style in the, in my email ID. Okay? Give your email ID there. They will send it. Okay? The APA referencing. Plagiarism, no excuse at all. Therefore, whatever you make, for example, case study you typed or short answers you typed, never hand it over to your friends, however close they are with you. Okay? You just discuss with them in the classroom, that's fine, but never give any of your materials to your friend, because finally they will submit and then you will find both of them are struck with the plagiarism. Plagiarism means they will give you a 0 in the subject or they may fail you in the subject, okay? So plagiarism should be very, very careful. Next is deadline. Deadline also important, okay? There's no excuse for the deadline. When they say submit before so and so date, you should submit it. Nothing will be acceptable. No, medical certificate will be acceptable. Nothing unless you are really bedridden in the hospital, and then you come to me and then only I'll have to tell them, but I cannot interfere so much, okay? Because it's all with the professor. Everything is with the professor. So you need to observe the deadline, okay? Deadline never miss. Plagiarism also never do plagiarism, okay? These two means you will have a very harsh punishment, okay? Number three, you need to get a minimum of grade C. Never go below grade C. That means minimum, keep a target of achieving 75% in each subject. Okay, that means 75 marks in each subject. Okay, never go below that, because if you go below 75, then it will go with the